What's the deal? What's the deal, YouTube? It's your boy, your host, who do the most six, man. Back with another one, man. Welcome welcome to Unity Over Fame and all that, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in and everything like that, man. Uh, Supporting my channel and everything like that. All positive vibes, positive energy going on and all that, man. I really appreciate y'all, man. Um, I hope everybody having a good weekend, staying safe, and you know what I mean, not drinking and driving and all that. Let's you know what I mean. Let's stay disciplined. You know what I mean. It's too much tragic going on. Too many tragedies. You know what I mean. Deaths going on left and right. You know what I mean. Too many funerals left and right and back to back and all that. And it's saying, and to me, it's seeming like there's a whole lot of black funerals in the, you know what I mean, in the black community. You know what I mean. So let's and not that I wish anything else in other race, because everybody needs to be safe, you know what I mean. But yeah, I just be seeing a lot of deaths in the black community, you know what I mean. So I don't like seeing that type of stuff, but I hope everybody having a good weekend and everything like that, man. But I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Like and subscribe. I'm gonna make sure I open up the little comment section, so people are able to comment and give some advice, give some opinions. I take criticism, all criticism, you know what I mean. um if you want to if you would like for me to touch up on a certain topic, or get my opinion on a certain topic, you can hit me up on a gram, or like I said, I'm open up these I'm gonna open up these comments to where you can voice your opinion, or you know what I mean, get some advice or anything like that. Instagram is bands on bands underscore ENT. That'd be BANDZ with no S. It's a Z. So yeah, y'all can you know what I mean, follow me on there and hit me up, man. You know what I mean? I'll talk back for sure. I'm definitely a conversational type of person, so I don't mind chopping it up at all. You know what I mean? So back to back to the topic, man. As y'all see, it said single mothers with sons, tough love. So pretty much, and before I get started on our topic, I want to let all the single mothers know and everything like that. I'm not calling nobody out. You know what I mean? I'm not being biased. I'm not doing none of that. You know what I mean? I'm actually, you know what I mean, on y'all team. I want to support. You know what I mean? So that's, you know what I mean. As they say, it take a village to raise. You know what I mean, to raise a child. So you know what I mean. The more we come together, the better. You know what I mean. The better we can better this generation. You know what I mean. So um, I've seen a lot of I've seen a lot of I've seen a lot of stuff in the not even just recent, not even just recently, but just overall, I've seen a lot of stuff where a lot of single mothers be having problems with their sons, like you know what I mean, just respecting them as they mother, and you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And just as a parent, that bothers me a whole lot. That bothers me a whole lot, man. And because I don't, you know what I mean, I come from a different household. I ain't gonna say generation, because even back in my generation, it was stuff like that going on. So I ain't gonna say I come from a different generation. I do, but it was stuff like that going on back then too. So what I will say is, for the single mothers, you know what I mean. I understand you ladies kind of, you guys are a little soft. You guys are a little soft, and I know I know the toughness usually comes from the dad. But if you don't have that, if that child doesn't have that around, then do what you can. And I know it's only so much that a woman can teach a man, but that doesn't stop you from standing on business. You know what I mean? So make sure my mic is on. So as parents, we gotta as a single mother, we gotta make sure you standing on business with these young boys. You know what I mean? Because when I was young, I when I was young, like around middle school and everything like that, I stopped having that fear. I stopped having that fear of my mom in middle school. Not saying that I stopped respecting her, because I always respected her, but I stopped having that fear, like, of them ass whoopers and stuff like that. But you know what I mean? And trust and believe, my mama will tell you she was whooping ass. Most definitely. She was whooping ass, you know what I mean? Hands down. So I knew what the ass whooping was like. And but like I said, regardless of me feeling myself and getting older and not having that fear from my mom, I still, no matter what I was doing in the streets or anything like that, I still maintained that respect for her. You know what I mean? Whatever I was doing in the street, I didn't feel like I didn't bring that Billy Badass mentality into my home. You know what I mean? Didn't do that. You know what I mean? Bad as hell in school and all that, but I maintained that respect for my mama. You know what I mean? So, and I say that to say, like, I know a lot of women are soft and they got that, oh, that's my baby, you know what I mean, type of mentality. That's gonna always be your baby. Can't nobody take that from you. That's gonna always be your baby. But if you want your baby to maintain that, if you want your baby to move forward in life and be and have some discipline and be the man that you will want him to be, you gotta install that discipline in them. And the only way for you to install that discipline in them is for you to stand on business. We gotta stop. You gotta stop rewarding these young men when they messing up. You gotta stop rewarding them. When you putting them on punishments and stuff like that, stand on your punishment. Take away the stuff that they love the most, the phones and all that. Take all of that. Take all of it. You know what I mean? And I'm not here to say that every every situation, every time they mess up, they deserve a ass whooping. No, it's not what I'm saying. Not what I'm saying at all. You know what I mean? But let's keep it real. That them ass whoopings do count. They count. You know what I mean? So I mean, because you gotta think about it. If you not whooping on their ass and shit like that, you know what I mean? They're gonna feel like they can mess up for free. Just think if we was right here in life, if I can go out and rob banks, if I can go out and rob banks and hit licks and stuff like that, and there's not really no discipline like that, you gotta think about it. I ain't gonna never want no job. For what? When I can just go just steal something and if, you know what I mean? If I can just go rob something, and then if I get caught or something like that, I ain't gotta worry about no consequences like that. Absolutely. I'm finna go run it up. I'm finna go run it up. Then these kids, you know what I mean? And don't get it twisted. These kids can be manipulative, if I said it right. But yeah, they can't. Kids can manipulate too. If they know they not finna get no whipping, they know there's no strong consequences to what they doing. Oh, most definitely. They finna do their thing. They finna do their thing. You know what I mean? And you can't blame them because they're gonna do what you allow. And I said it, and I said it again. I'm not saying ass whoopings is needed every single time they mess up. No, because you at the same time you got to give them enough rope to hang themselves. So no, that's ass whooping is not the answer to everything. Certain things can be talked out. Certain, you know what I mean. Certain things you need to apply that pressure. Because me personally, I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those parents who finna sit here and repeat themselves over and over and over and over. And nah, I'm finna get right to it. You need to understand. You feel me? I'm finna get right to it. So we have to apply that pressure. You know what I mean? If we want to see these kids actually learn something, because I don't know about y'all, but the best teachers come from home, not school. You feel me? The best teachings come from home, not school. You feel me? Straight up. And let me give an example. You know what I mean? I've coached football, well, sports spirit, football and basketball. I've coached for a couple of years, and I done dealt with kids who you can tell didn't didn't really get too much discipline at home, and you can always tell because they bring it on the field. So once it was time for me to discipline them, oh, go run laps, go do bear crawls, go do this, go do that. Their whole attitude was just like, I ain't doing none of that. I ain't doing none of that. You know what I mean? Like, or they get the attitude, get to throwing their helmets and doing all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So it was like I can tell, that what they wasn't used to. And this is the thing. They'll be, I can be like, I can bench, I could bench one of them. I can bench one of them and be like, okay, you done. You done for the rest of the game, or you not starting. You're not a starter anymore. And now like, whoa, 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 whoa. You know what I mean? And I would have a parent, sit there and watch their child either talking back to the coach, cussing out the coach, or cussing out the referees, or you know what I mean, something like that. And then they come to me and be like, Coach, why are you not putting my son back? Why are you not putting my son back in the game? And I'd be like, you, what do you mean? Why I'm not putting your son back in the game? You know what I mean? Like, are you not seeing what's going on? Okay, coach, but sometimes the other players do it, and you don't do this to them, and you don't do that to them. I'm like, and that type of that type of shit right there kills me, because it's a lot of parents who just feel like it's a lot of parents who just feel like their kids can do no wrong. They can do no wrong, and it's like they expect because of the fact that they a certain kind of way with their child. As a coach, they expected me to be a certain kind of way with their child. And it's like, nah, I don't know what you thought, but he's my son on this field. You can go and sit in them stands and chill out. He's my son right now. Or if you don't like how I discipline him, or I get at him, or anything like that, then by all means take your son off of my team, because he's not running this over here. I am. He might be running your household at home, but not right here. That's out. That's out. You know what I mean? So I've seen I've seen all that type of stuff before, and it's like those that's part of the reason why a lot of these young men don't learn nothing. You know what I mean? And it's like to these young to the and I hope some of these young men end up watching my video or watching it right now at some point or something. Let me tell y'all something. You only get one mama. You only get one. Cherish that. Your mama can go have a child. She can have another child. You can't have another mama. You know what I mean? So you need to cherish your mama. Respect your mama. I don't care how many fights you be having in the streets, how many girls you dealing with, how much you feel like you Billy Badass. It doesn't matter. Respect your mama, because trust me, it once she's gone, dog. She's gone. And I encourage any single mothers that's having issues with their son, man, show them this video. Show them this video. Please do, because they need to hear it. They absolutely need to hear it. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, we gotta moms, we gotta put our foot down, man, for the better of their future. For the better of the future, put your foot down, man, and don't let up. Please don't let up, because it has to start somewhere, because they gonna think that it's a free ride. They gonna think that it's a free ride going moving forward into life. And boy, oh boy, when I tell you, they gonna be in for a rude awakening, because they these other people's, the law and everybody else, they not gonna play with them. They not gonna play them. They gonna eat their ass alive. And that's something we have to prepare them for. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why their dad not around or whatever the case may be. If he's trying to be around, allow him to be around, because words hit different when it comes from mama versus when it comes from daddy or stepdad or uncle, grandpa, whoever. It hit different when it comes from a man. You know what I mean? But if you don't, like I said, if you don't have that, then you have to do what you can and apply that pressure. But you can't sit here and be in soft mama mode all the time. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to respect that. They're not going to respect that. They are going to run over you. You know what I mean? And if you got the type of kids that get mad and pout and then want to fake run away and all that kind of shit, let them. Let them days go by and all that kind of shit. Let them want to hit you up and call you for you to come pick them up, because they not eating like they want to. They don't got any money. You know what I mean? And they don't, you know what I mean? They're gonna hit you up. Cause the grass is not gonna be greener nowhere else. Ain't no place like home. There ain't no place like home at all. So once they hit you up and, oh mama, can you come get me and all that kind of shit? Nope. Wait for a couple more days. Wait for a couple more days to where they, you know that they, you know what I mean? I'm not saying starve them or none of that kind of shit, but you grown. You grown. You run away. You got this, right? Okay, bet. Wait till you know they just white around the lips and all of that, and then you can, you know what I mean, and then you can probably go grab them. You know what I mean? But not like that, like that. But you want them to kind of suffer a little bit. You want them to learn that the shit that you getting from inside your house, you're not finna get from nowhere else. You're not. You might get it for the first day or two or something like that. But other than after that, the well gonna run dry. The well gonna run dry. So you have to get your point across. You have to get your point across. And now I know everybody, like, I don't want my son, or I don't want my son out there just ripping and running, and something happened to him, and I'm gonna feel bad that something happened to it. Yeah, we don't want nothing to happen to our kids. We don't want nothing to happen. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that they don't need a lesson. And if you keep making yourself available for them every time they run out the house to go do bullshit, they are not going to learn from that, because they know that you're gonna come to the rescue every single time. Every single time. So let they ass stay out. Let they ass stay out there a couple more days after they call you to come pick them up. Cause that's when you know, okay, yeah, they tired. They hungry. They did. Okay, yeah, you finna wait. You finna wait another 2 3 days. I know you ready to tap out. You finna wait another 2 3 days. That's out. That's out. We have to. We have to. You guys have to install some discipline in these young men, because once they in somebody else's hands, those other hands, those behind the bars hands, they gonna see how much other people really don't give a shit. Don't give a shit. Hell, it don't even take for them to have to go to jail to see that other people don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Sometimes they can go to the other family members and see, like, damn, they don't really care about nothing. You know what I mean? They don't really don't care about me because I'm not theirs. Sometimes they can go to other family members and see that. You know what I mean? So, and sometimes it's necessary for them to see that. It's necessary. We used to get our ass whooped. You ever you remember them back in the day ass whooping, where they hold you up with one arm and they whooping your ass with the other arm, and you spinning around in a circle and all kind of shit, and your feet just kicking and dangling and shit like that. Yeah, them that's the, that's them old school '90s, early 2000 ass whooping with that belt. It didn't make you go take a bath. No, damn well you can't even sit down like that, because your ass is numb, wounded, scarred up, and all that. It's bad. A nigga whole ass looking like a baboon booty, straight up wounded. But those are the type of ass women that made a nigga think, like, you know what? I'm gonna have to kind of tread lightly a little bit. I ain't trying to go through all that. You know what I mean? But some kids they take more than that. Some kids just, you know what I mean? They receive certain stuff differently. You know what I mean? All these kids not the same. No. but are these parents not the same neither? You know what I mean? So all I'm saying, ladies, like I said, I'm on y'all side for the better of the generation and for the better of our younger men. Let's, you know what I mean? Let's hold our ground a little more. Let's put our foot down a little more. You know what I mean? They gotta respect something. They need to feel. They need to know and feel like, you know what I mean. If they don't, if it's mama way or the highway. They need to feel like if they don't want to respect something that you preaching in your household, then you can absolutely go. You can absolutely go. I love you, but this you not running shit right here. You're not running shit right there, right here. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to touch up on that topic. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all tuning in and listening in. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try to keep dropping different topics at least once a week. You know what I mean? So just stay tuned. You know what I mean? Turn your notifications on, subscribe, like, and all of that, man. And you know what I mean? And just stay tuned and just stay tuned in for the next one, man. I appreciate y'all being here, man, and staying patient with me because I'm still learning how to do certain stuff. You know, I've been having little issues with certain stuff, so I'm trying to work on certain upgrades so I can limit my mistakes and, you know, limit issues and all that kind of stuff. So just bear with a nigga, man, and you know what I mean. And I'm gonna get it right, man. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all patience, man. I appreciate y'all stopping by, man. Thanks for tuning in to Unity Over Fame, man. Until next time.